Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Shoujo podcast, where I, Sarah, introduce my friend Joe to Shoujo anime. This time, nope. Oh, that's my dog, Cricket.
What does Cricket have to say?
She is saying, oh my God, you got Cricket.
She hasn't finished her sentence.
No, not the time.
She wants something. She wants to do the
Lord.
intro. She's doing the intro. It's Cricket intro. Take it away, Cricket.
Okay, no, I think she's done now.
Oh, okay.
You're done now? Okay.
Great.
What was I saying? Podcast. That's what we're here.
Yeah. You're showing me anime.
Yeah. Big deals in the house. Our guest, all right, Revolutionary Girl Utena is what we are covering and what we just discussed on our guest feature on the Manga Talk podcast. So if you guys are a fan of us and want to support our endeavors and like manga and Utena, then you should definitely go listen to that. I think I lied before and was like, oh, I'll totally drop a link to them in our show notes. This time for realsies, I will drop the link to their podcast.
We're so professional.
In our show notes. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, we faked it enough to get invited somewhere else. So.
Our first time talking to, making friends. We did it.
Yes, look at us go. We did it. We're making it.
We're international officially. Now. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready for the world tour.
That's right. But before we deep dive into Utena episodes 19, 20, and 21, we shall catch up here first. What have you got for us this time, Joe?
It's a good question. What did I do?
Life updates.
Yes. So somebody in your chat, I don't know. Are we saying names? I haven't gotten permission to say this person's name. Contributor to the Discord was talking about how they were reading a manga adaptation of Capital.
And what is Capital?
Capital is the book by Karl Marx where he talks about commodities and the system of capitalism in the totality. Very famous.
Oh, okay. Sounds right up your alley.
And I guess they made a manga adaptation of it, which sounds kind of ambitious. But I was like, you know what I have yet to do? I have yet to read Capital. So I started an audiobook version of Capital Volume 1. I listened to the first chapter, which was about 2 hours long. And then I am watching along with this lecture series by, I will pull up the name, where they go through and talk about the various chapters in order. I have to look through my YouTube history. That's right. David Harvey.
Joe.
So that's what I'm doing. I did that this weekend. I listened to 4 hours of the first chapter of Capital for some reason.
No, if before you were in school, if you were like, you're such a learner. Did your mom have her hands full with you before you were in school being like, Mom, what's this? Mom, what's that? Tell me everything about the world when I'm 5, or if this sense of
I was not like this. Yeah, I mean, you knew me. Okay. I was not like this. You knew me in high school. I became like this later. At like some point, I like went through like this whole thing where like in high school and early in college, I like didn't want to be there. So I always had this attitude of like, I wish I could leave. And was kind of like surly and like whatever about everything. And then it was like midway through college when I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to like live my whole life and do stuff. And not just be annoyed that everything is kind of sucks. So instead I'm like, what if I just became really deranged scholar brained and was like, what if I went to graduate school? What if I like took an interest in things if I thought they were kind of weird. So I stopped thinking about if I like doing something. This is a big important thing for me. I used to be like, I do things I like, and now I don't even consider if I like it or not. I'm like, that seems interesting, so I guess we should do it. Because if I just did stuff I like, I would never do anything, and I'd be mad about it.
Okay.
So now I'm forced to, like, if it seems like a weird thing to do, I'm like, yep, I need to do this. I mean, I've known about Capital for a while, and I've been meaning to like listen to it. I'm gonna read it after probably, but like I don't want to sit there and read all that. I'll just listen to it first. So it's been on my like to-do list, and I'm like, why don't I just start knocking things off? Because I feel like I'm not getting anything done in my real life. So here we go.
Okay, so if we did a bonus episode on that manga, do you think I would be able to comprehend reading that manga?
I assume it's like pretty like entry level friendly. Yeah, because it's a manga about like because like the book. This first chapter is like, all right, linen costs something. Like linen has a value, and you could set that value equal to a coat that's made of linen. So it's like this much linen equals this much coat. That's how money works. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's how commodities work. And I'm like, all right, cool. So it's actually not that bad.
Okay.
But it's a lot of that. It's a lot of like, he says the word linen like 40 times in like 5 pages, which is, you gotta be okay with that. So yeah, you can do it. It's not too bad.
I could do it.
Yeah.
We'll see if I do.
Different types of value. Realized value. We're going to learn all about stuff and how things move around in the market. Isn't that exciting?
Some would say so.
Yeah.
Yes.
How fun.
Anything else that could possibly top that's going on with you?
Did I watch like an anime thing? I feel like I did, but I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, I started the live action One Piece. I watched the first 2 episodes of that.
Season 2 or just
season 2?
The first season. Okay.
Yep.
And
same problems I had with before, which is I like it when they're all hanging out, and I don't like it when there's action because I think the action scenes look bad.
Yeah.
And also, I don't like Netflix. Ever since I learned that Netflix has this strategy of like, oh, people don't like watch, so you have to like restate the premise all the time, I can't stop seeing it. So like anytime a character gets on screen and explains something that could have been understood by like watching the scene, it annoys me. Yeah. Even though it shouldn't annoy me that much, but I'm just so aware of it that I'm like, this is a show for babies. Netflix thinks I'm a child and can't understand the implications of a scene because they don't think I watched it.
Well, maybe it's not children. It's just where humanity's going, and they're accommodating that. So we should just be mad at everyone and not Netflix.
So you say that, but then I'm like,
coddling humanity
earlier today, I the 4 hours of chapter 1 of Capital. So yeah.
Well, you're a true exception.
No, everybody's doing
above
this.
The rest of us.
Okay, for some reason, and I'm using YouTube more because like I'm watching this stuff on YouTube. YouTube really, their recommendation really wants me to watch these short video essays that they push so hard all the time, and I don't know why, because I don't really watch video essays. But all of my recommendations are video essays. What's with that? Are they just like obsessed with it?
Well, it's YouTube, it's videos, so I don't know. You're listening to academic-esque things, so why not an essay?
I guess. I don't know why it thinks I care about this stuff. It's so weird, Have you ever felt like an algorithm on like a social media site really understood you?
I think they listen to me. I don't know if they understand me.
Like, do you feel like they deliver you good, interesting
relevant
stuff?
thing.
Like, not just stuff that's like what you already watched, but like something... Like they bring you something.
Oh, no.
Fresh.
It doesn't like recommend new things. It's just like the same of what you've already been consuming or.
That's so disappointing.
Yeah.
I want it to bring me the thing that I don't know that I want,
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's a way to like, or at least on like news, you can upvote if it's relevant to you or not, or at least on the news app that's native to Android phones. No. Yeah, that's like when I was in high school, there was this website. I don't remember the name of it, but it was like basically if you like this, you'll like that. And it was like a whole, you would search it and then it would have like a whole like visual branching of all the different things and like how they would tie into that one thing of recommendations. That was pretty cool.
That's good.
I don't remember what that was called, but I think I used that for trying to find anime back then.
That sounds useful.
Yes. But yeah.
Anyway, what have you been up to? I digressed about a bunch of bullshit. What's going on with you?
No, you're good. I officially have watched all of Survivor. So no old Survivor talk for Sarah. And season 50 sucks, so was it worth it? I don't know.
And I get to the end and I'm like, what's this shit?
It's just, well, season 50, it's like returning players, and some of them I do, well, mostly it's not even, the returning players are fine. It's just kind of more of like, what has Survivor become that they're returning to? But it's not its former glory of like, let's just name drop celebrities and have guest hosts and stuff, which they've never done. But it's like, this is not the way to make it an impactful 50th season. This is important to me to have. What's the country music band? Some Browns.
What?
Some Brown band. Zach Brown. Does that sound right? Zach Brown Band? Is that a name? Is that a band?
That could be a country group. I have no idea.
I think, but like it just comes and he hosts or he like does it. I don't whatever.
Survivor.
So not. I like fast forward through that whole part. Just like I don't care. Yeah, bring back like other survivors to be guests or I don't. Not that. Not celebrities. Not. I don't know. It's weird. Like. There's like a Immunity Idol. It's like the Billie Eilish boomerang. It's like, what? This is stupid sounding.
Okay, so they're just bringing in whoever agrees.
Well, she's not even in it. It's just her name they're using in it. Did
she? What? They're just using her name?
She signed off it. Maybe she comes at some point, but it's like, hi, I'm Billie Eilish, and you found my idol. But it's just like a written message. It's just like, I doubt she wrote it.
What?
It's bizarro land. So, and the whole premise of the show is that it's like the fans voted on all the different things that are in it. But so at least it's not the same boringness that has been the new era, which is New Era Survivor is post COVID. But I don't know. There's parts I like. And so we're only 4 episodes in. So we got like 10 more episodes of the season. So I did it. What accomplishment I've achieved watching all of Survivor in like a year or less.
Apparently she wrote she sang about Survivor on her 2022 song TV, and she likes Survivor.
Yeah, so I think it's like the youth celebrities who like Survivor, but I'm like, this is not anything for me.
That's such a like, you're just admitting you're like old and out of ideas kind of move, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like all you have is your legacy. You don't have anything new.
Mm-hmm.
She's not in it. That's so funny.
Or not so far, but yeah, so that's that. Me and friend of the podcast, Jenny, are going to go see another, I like here's a nerdy thing we want to see. Let's see it together, friend, kind of thing. So we're seeing like video game orchestra, like music performed from different games. And Mass Effect is one of the games they're going to perform. So I'm super excited. So that's like next month, I think. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
And then let's see. I went paddling. I went outside voluntarily this weekend, like on a kayak paddling. And I got a blister. Going so hard, broke skin.
Wow. Zooming down the river.
Yes. And then I saw Project Hail Mary. That was cute. And Invincible is back on that animated series. Yeah. I guess that's it. I'm mostly just like buzzing from our celebrity time on my manga talk and being like, oh, we're famous.
I'm hearing my voice in a different podcast stream.
I know. Yes.
Yeah. No, it's fun. It's fun talking about other stuff, you know, having a different format. Imagine a world where we both just spoke in complete sentences and didn't talk over each other ever. That's not the world we live in.
You don't have to. It exists out there. Not on this podcast, but us together on a podcast.
I mean, you could edit it that way. Now. It's not like it's impossible. No, the audience demands us talking like this. This is for people. People are showing up for the calamity that is our speech patterns.
Truly. Ugh. I guess neither one of us is bringing the normal.
No, I don't think either of us are normal. I think we've pretty much solidified that. You know who else isn't normal? This is my transition. How was that? It sounds so much. What?
Accurate to know. Proceed.
That's true. Actually, that's actually pretty appropriate for these episodes. Yeah. Revolutionary Girl Utena. We did it.
Abnormal.
Episode 19, 20, and 21. These episodes are kind of sad, honestly.
Yeah.
In a way I kind of liked, though.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it.
All right. We're going to start with some voice actors. The voice actor for Wakaba Shinohara, which apparently is her last name, is Yuka Imai. She is Rio Kinizono in Burn Up W. I don't really know what that is, but it seemed like something I might know. The voice of the Navigator in Mobile Suit Gundam 08 MS Team. She is Larsa Soldier in Final Fantasy XII, Final Fantasy I have not played. She's Lilith Ensland in Namco vs. Capcom, the video game. And she is Arisa Utani in Fruits Basket, 2021. She's like 2001. God, I can't say anything.
It's okay. Good thing we're recording a podcast right now when you can't.
Yeah, I love that.
Man. Lots of people in Fruits Basket and Gundam in this show.
Yep, it was on around that time.
Yep. Which is so bizarre. In my mind, this is so much older, but it's not that much older.
It's not that much older. No. Let's see. The voice actress for Keiko Sonoda is Akira Nakagawa. Couldn't find a lot from her in terms of roles. A lot of them were things I never heard of, including Harumi Tanaka from Martian Success for Nadesico. Don't know what that is.
Never heard
she
of it.
is
Nope.
Kachiro Kato in Prince of Tennis, which is some kid that shows up in a lot of Prince of Tennis.
Never watched that.
And she's Setsuko Izuyoi in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds.
Yu-Gi-Oh! The first season, it's like, okay, one guy has crazy hair. I think I can accept it. But then every season has
the escalation.
And the hair gets crazier and crazier.
It's the one where they're like on motorcycles.
I have no idea. I don't know anything outside of the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Series.
Yeah, I don't know either. I know I watched a little bit of GX or whatever where it's like Jaden.
Like if you give it this is the same reason I can't remember like BMW car models is because if you just throw in random letters and numbers together, that's not memorable to me. I'm not going to remember what that means. You gotta call
but
it
it's 5Ds. What do you think the 5Ds of Yu-Gi-Oh! Are? Dual, Dragon, Dark, that's a type. Dice. Because there's that one dice thing. Dimension Duelists. I bet that's it. I bet it's 5 English words that start with D. I bet that's what it is. All right, and our last voice actor, just because I had to throw this in there, is Tatsuya Kazumi, who is this boy that we first meet. He is voiced by Ryotaro Okiayu, who we have seen before as the voice of Kudo in My Happy Marriage. Hey, Kudo's here, and he's some kid.
What up? What up?
He's back. That is one of the main characters in My Happy Marriage, listener. If you did not listen to our coverage of that, you can go and listen to all of our coverage of My Happy Marriage, where we definitely had a good time, and Sarah was not a huge hater the whole time. Also the voice of Byakuya Kushiki in Bleach, Scar in Full Metal Alchemist 2003 version, Borsellino in One Piece, and Treize in Gundam Wing.
You know, it'd be fun if we ever get my sister on for a podcast. I'd like to listen to her try to pronounce these names because, like, we watched Bleach in high school, or I guess she might have been in middle school, but she butchered Byakuya's names. She's like Byaki or
it's kind of hard. It's kind yeah, not the easiest. I mean, I can't. I'm reading these and I can't even do it right. So Yeah. It throws me off that, like, you know, in English, when you have vowels next to each other, they change the sound. It does not happen in Japanese. You pronounce all those. You pronounce everything on the screen. All right. Yeah. Speaking of things on the screen, episode 19 is called A Song for the Kingdom Now Lost. We open on what looks like is about to be the prince story, but we see that it's actually like Wakaba with the prince instead. And it's just about how Wakaba wants to get with her prince. We cut to Utena and Wakaba in the real world eating lunch, and Wakaba has made a bento for them to share. Utena comments that Wakaba is the most normal girl around and says that she's going to make a great wife. And Wakaba's like, that's right.
Who doesn't want to be a great wife?
Who doesn't want to be the most normal girl?
I mean, this world is not such a bad thing.
Wakaba thinks about how... Oh, no, sorry. A boy comes up to them and introduces himself as Tetsuya Kazumi. He tries to give Utena a confession letter, but Wakaba snatches it first. She thinks about this guy for a little while Utena decides how to let this boy down easy because she is not interested in him at all. But suddenly Wakaba remembers this guy from elementary school. She's like, you're the Onion Prince. Remember when we were kids and I called you that? We know each other. And he's like, okay. It's later in the day and Utena asks who the Onion Prince is. Also, she's annoyed at Wakaba because she hung on to the love letter so Utena wasn't able to give it back to him.
Yeah, don't love that.
Wakaba's like, you shouldn't think about that guy. He's a total womanizer. But Utena's like, he seemed kind of normal. I don't know. Wakaba calls him cruel because he transferred away without telling her. Ooh. Wakaba goes into a flashback to tell us that Tetsuya used to be her prince, and she used to call him the Onion Prince, but he didn't really seem to be on board with that. Wakaba's like, well, that was a long time ago, but Utena is all in on him being her prince now. She's like, ooh, maybe I can set them up.
Well, do we think it's like, well, because at this point, it doesn't, I don't know. It's like, he doesn't seem interested in Wakaba, and Wakaba seems just mad at him. But it's, I don't know, interesting that Utena's so like gung-ho about putting them together.
Utena loves a prince-princess story. That's her whole deal.
But I guess, I don't know. It makes me think of, this is very much like, let's just think about object and call it our blank prince, like Kitchen Princess is a manga where it's like, oh, my flan prince, because when I was a child, this boy gave me a flan dessert, and then now whenever I see flan, I think of him. Blah, blah, blah. I guess it's just onion because she got called an onion as a kid
because of her hair. Yeah. Yeah. Tetsuya goes to see Wakaba the next day in class, and she sees him talking with other girls and is like, Wakaba tries to give the letter back to Tetsuya, and he's like, well, of course Utena's going to reject me. You called me the Pumpkin Prince or whatever. And Wakaba's like, I called you the Onion Prince, and those were precious memories for me, so I wish you would take them seriously. Tetsuya tells Wakaba that that she owes him another shot at Utena, and Wakaba's like, all right, fine. Very heavily implying that Wakaba's interested in him at this point.
Yeah, well, they don't show his face at first either. Which I was like, for the life of me, I couldn't tell if this is going to be a spoof, crazy episode or not at first.
This is basically just setting up one big joke, it feels like.
Yeah.
But also kind of
to the next one.
Yeah. Setting up the next episode. Mm-hmm. We jump to the student council. They basically have nothing to do now. So they all just tease each other about who they like. And Juri comments that it's too bad they can't just change who they like.
Too bad indeed.
Lieutenant and Anthe go to see Aiko. Or Akio. I don't know why I said Aiko. Akio.
Aiko.
Utena talks about Wakaba and speculates that her and Tetsuya like each other but refuse to admit it. Akio tells Utena that sometimes people are harder to understand than you might think. Then he's like, yeah, anyway, young love sure is nice. Sure hope you find somebody, Anthe.
Ugh.
Cool, man.
Also, I was like, watching this, it's like, this might be a thought more for next episode, but it's like, Utena, you're spilling the beans to everything before things go down. So I'm starting to think that by you talking to Akio, he's in cahoots with the Black Rose, and that's how they're learning who they should go after, because you're just spreading all this, spilling the tea.
Yep. We cut to later. Wakaba has organized Tetsuya to meet her, Utena, and Anthe for lunch. Utena is not interested, but agrees to meet him, framing it as her doing it a favor for Wakaba, who's like, what? Tetsuya shows up late, and Utena introduces Tetsuya to Anthe, and Anthe introduces him to Choo-Choo. I guess Tetsuya is Choo-Choo's type because he gets all embarrassed.
I thought that was fun. Oh, Choo-Choo, a blushy.
Wakaba gets annoyed that Tetsuya is flirting with Choo-Choo, and Tetsuya asks why she even cares, and she's like, whatever, don't worry about it. Tetsuya sits down and asks Utena if she's seeing anyone, and she says no, but explains her whole prince thing, and Tetsuya's like, oh, that's kind of cool, I guess. Utena's like, yeah, but there's a princess sitting next to you right now, huh, Wakaba? And Wakaba's like, what? And she's like, and your prince, remember? The thing we talked about? And Wakaba thinks about her prince as the show frames her and Tetsuya like they're in love.
This is like not cool, Utena. You do not put your friend on the spot like that in front of the dude that she possibly likes. Utena's too meddling. Girl, this is too direct.
No subtlety from her.
No.
Wakaba leaves, and Tetsuya asks Utena if he has a shot with Wakaba because he's decided to shift his focus onto her, the girl that seems more attainable. He decides that he was really asking out Utena to get close to Wakaba, I guess, because he actually likes her. And Utena encourages him to go after Wakaba. Utena and Anthy go to their lockers, and Utena wonders if things will work out between the two of them. And Anthy glibly says that it either will happen or it won't. Thank you, Anthy.
That it will. Or won't.
When you're right, you know?
Uh-huh.
Utena finds a note in her locker from Wakaba calling her mean. We get the Kogai Shadow Troop.
I did like this.
What?
Just the like, let's like set it up like it's gonna happen, but
yes. This whole episode is that. You think there's gonna be a duel. Yep. There's not gonna be a duel. Yep. Someone's gonna get into the confessional later. It is not gonna go anywhere. We get the Kogai Shadow Troop. They do a skit about a girl who going to a tire shop, but she doesn't know what they sell, and the salesman tells her that they sell tires. So she orders one bag of tires to cook for her husband because nobody can read the situation correctly. Don't you just hate it when nobody can read the situation and things just kind of happen?
Yes. Thanks for summing that up for us.
At sunset, Tetsuya goes to see Wakaba on a hill. He asks if there's anyone that she likes and remembers that she has a prince that she likes. He encourages her to confess her feelings to her prince, whoever that could be, am I right? Haha. And she's like, wow, do you really think that's a good idea? I've been thinking about it, but I've been kind of nervous. Maybe with God on my side, my prince will notice me and I can finally find happiness too. Tetsuya puts his hand on her shoulder and tells her that she will find happiness. And Wakaba's like, wow, I can't believe I'm really going to find my happiness. And she's like, well, hope you find someone that makes you happy too, Tetsuya. And then she leaves to go find her actual prince, who is not Tetsuya.
Bummer.
Very funny.
Yeah, bummer. Bye-bye.
Tetsuya goes to Nimuro Memorial Hall for an interview. In the confessional, Tetsuya says he heard a rumor that you can go here when things go wrong to be counseled. He starts complaining about how a girl he's liked for a long time doesn't like him. He gets real weird about it, imagining how other guys are going to tarnish Wakaba, but then is like, it's fine. Yeah. After the other guy's done with her, she'll come back to me. Love always wins in the end, right? And the elevator starts going up. Yeah,
we don't love this mentality whatsoever.
Oh, but guess who does?
Yikes.
He asserts that he really loves her and gets angry, wondering why he isn't good enough for her. Mikage shows up and tells Tetsuya that he's a truly good person. He shouldn't be here. He needs to leave. We got to Wakaba running home to see her prince. She returns to her dorm room and says hello to her guest, Saionji, as we cut to credits.
Saionji, whose hair color is totally a different shade now. And then they're like, remember old Saionji? Let's change his hair so it looks all lime green now instead of the dark green it used to be. This light green before, right? I'm not imagining that. Like, what happened?
He's a pale reflection of himself.
I guess so. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. So not where I thought this episode was going to end. So that was a nice little like. Whoop.
Yep. The misunderstanding episode where nobody can read the room.
Yes. Elevator going up, not down.
Yeah. What do we think?
Okay. What do we think? Let me tell you what I probably wrongly think.
Yeah.
Mikage and the Black Rose, whatever, they can only make use of people who like actually have like an impact and importance in the heart of people involved. And it's like, it's not because you're a good person. It's because nobody cares about you that you're no use to. Dude, get out of here.
Yeah.
Basically. Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, they can't really use them for anything, right?
Yep.
So he has no utility. I do think it's funny that Mikage is like, you're a really good person, which makes you think that Mikage sucks.
If we didn't think that before.
That's true. That's true. Can't exploit this guy. Can't exploit a guy who's already bought in entirely to the system of like weird, like incel possessing women mentality. I guess that's not really incel. But
yeah. Well, I mean, it seems somewhat normal for a bit where it's like, oh, you were just trying to get close to Utena so you could get close to Wakaba if from the jump you were. Because your summary implies that you think he was just like,
yeah,
Utena's not going to work, so let me change gears to Wakaba. But
that was
watching it, I was kind of like, I can see it be like, okay, yeah, he was just like, or maybe he knows Wakaba's kind of stubborn, and so by trying to turn his attention elsewhere, then she'll like be nudged towards him. And
I get my read was very much.
I could see that.
Yeah, my read was very much like he did not know she was there really. Until she's like, oh, you're this guy. We're friends, remember? And then he's like, ooh, maybe she's obtainable kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, with how it ends, I can believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, yeah, at first we don't show the face, and then we eventually reveal his face. So I was like, okay, maybe he is good. It's weird. I feel like this is the first time we're seeing a middle school, high school age person, male in their uniform. We've only seen the prince. This is the first time other than the kid, we're seeing a boy in the boy uniform. Because there's really not a lot of, like, Wakaba's the only kind of recurring normal character, and she's female. So this is like the first kind of normal, well, seemingly normal male peer of theirs that we're seeing.
Yeah, that's true. Isn't like a special outfit. Yeah. This guy sucks.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
I think it's funny when he gets owned.
Mm-hmm.
Utena, come on, girl.
Yes. Also, like, assess if he's even any good before you're trying to hoist him onto your friend. Just because you want a prince doesn't mean that's necessarily what everyone wants.
You mentioned Prince to Utena and brain turns off, you know?
Well, I'd be curious if, like, because so far Utena is like a pretty static character. Like, it doesn't feel like she as a person has really changed very much from the beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. So I'd be interested to see if we get some evolution out of her.
It would be nice. I don't think we're going to get it these episodes. I do think the funniest part of this episode is how Anthy just doesn't care at all about this.
No, well, it's showing how, like, okay, because I feel like she's slightly in on the colluding of all the crap going on. So it's like, Mikage's not interested. So why would Anthy be interested? This is not someone that's of any use. She's always somehow subtly dabbling in everything else.
Yeah.
But that's because he's got even the spoofy episode. Okay, okay.
Her just being like,
God.
Utena's like, I don't know. Do you think they're gonna get together? And Anthy's just like, I don't know, man. I guess.
Yeah.
So
at least she's offering opinions.
It's true.
So she's come a ways.
Yeah.
Since we first saw her with Saionji.
How did you feel at the end of this episode when you're like, oh no, Saionji's back?
Well, I mean, we kind of knew it was gonna have to happen just for the sake of, like, the duels and hitting all our folks. So this is the way that we're gonna get access to him, because, you know, before it was like, oh, who are we gonna use for freaking Saionji and
Touga?
Freaking Touga. I was like, I could not remember his name for a second.
Was it who you thought?
Yeah. No, neither case. So these were both, like, twists, for sure.
Yeah.
That I did not see coming.
Ugh. All right. Should we go into episode 20?
Let's do it.
Episode 20 is called Wakaba Flourishing. We open on a reminder that Saionji got expelled from school, and apparently nobody knows the actual reason or where he is now. We get scenes of Wakaba walking home. She buys some coffee mugs along the way. She makes it back to her dorm, and Saionji welcomes her back, and they greet each other.
This is the most we've seen outside of the school campus.
Yes.
In the whole show, it feels like.
Yeah, they live in a town
down there.
Wakaba makes them coffee, and Saionji apologizes for burdening her and then goes into a long, wallowing speech about how he got expelled. He says he doesn't want to burden her anymore and offers to leave, but Wakaba insists that it's not a big deal, and then she's like, here, have your coffee. Saionji cries and takes her hands, but it's too much for Wakaba, and she recoils, and they sit there awkwardly.
It's because he's super cringe. I'd recoil as well.
She thinks it's endearing, okay?
No. Ugh.
Wakaba is about to ask Saionji something, but she's interrupted by a friend visiting her. Wakaba makes maybe the worst excuse of all time, and her friend leaves. This was so funny.
She's a sweaty liar. This is just like in, I don't know if you've watched New Girl, but there's a character where, like, if he lies, he just sweats profusely on his back. And so it's always like, turn around and show us your back, Nick. And he just, like, reverse moon walks out of the room so no one knows.
That's funny. Yeah, this whole sequence is very funny because she, like, makes this excuse where she's like, I was praying. I'm super religious.
Oh, yeah. Didn't you know? Yeah.
And then she, like, goes back in and, like, Saionji's in there and he, like, scuttles from under the bed like a bug. And then he, like, flips his hair like he's hot again. I'm like, this is very funny.
Now you've lost us. We're disillusioned. You're not
hot. They make Saionji funny in this, and I'm like, oh, Saionji. Like, stupid idiot loser of the student council that everybody hates.
Yep.
Wakaba and Saionji hang out. We get a montage of Wakaba remembering how she had such a crush on Saionji back when he was a hotshot, but she never really stood a chance of getting his attention. But now she's gotten that chance. And we get a scene where Wakaba rushes home after school, skipping all of her activities that she could be doing to go see Saionji. We get a montage of Wakaba being good at everything. Utena watches Wakaba and notices...
Sorry, I was going to say, I guess it's supposed to be like the glow of love or some shit.
Yeah.
Making you good at everything.
Wakaba flourishing.
Yeah, I guess that's the name of the episode. True.
Yeah. This happens. When you fall in love, you get a boost to all your saving throws, and suddenly you're really good at passing all your checks. And we know this.
Okay.
Utena watches Wakaba and notices that she seems to be in good spirits. Later after school, Utena comments that Wakaba has been looking very cheerful and pretty lately, and Wakaba laughs but does not explain. Utena goes to see Akio and talks about how Wakaba is suddenly prettier. She does this while doing a bridge pose, which I thought was very funny.
Well, she's just like stretching a bunch.
She just stretches.
It's like it's like she's possessed by Anthe, where it's like, oh, this is where I do some weird bit throughout the episode. Only pan to me.
Yes, she's very cartoony when she's in the background. Akio is like, well, Utena, this might seem weird to you, but you have what we like to call in the business main character energy, which means you stand out. Wakaba, however, is a normal person. She has normal person energy and does not stand out. But now, for whatever reason, she's given a chance to shine. But that may not last very long, he says ominously. And Utena's like, I just want Wakaba to be happy. I didn't internalize any of that. We cut to Wakaba and Saionji. Saionji carves Wakaba a wooden leaf hair clip as a thank you gift for letting him stay with her. And Wakaba looks at herself in the mirror and tears up with the clip on.
This is sad.
It's so sad. Wakaba gives Saionji an update on the student council. Basically, nothing has happened. And then Saionji sort of sheepishly asks how Anthe is doing, which upsets Wakaba, but she doesn't react.
It's like you see like Instagram reels of like, when he mentions the other girl, you gotta not crash out or whatever. And
yep.
Just like that, basically.
She goes shopping and thinks that as soon as he leaves, he's going to forget all about her. We jump to Saionji painting the leaf clip gold. Suddenly, Mikage appears in Wakaba's room somehow. Apparently, Mikage knew Saionji was there the whole time. Mikage asks Saionji what his plan is to, like, do, and Saionji's like, I'm going to get my life back. And Mikage's like, well, how are you going to do that? And Saionji's like, So Mikage...
No game plan.
Yeah, no game plan at all. Mikage offers to help him for a favor, just one small thing he has. We got to Wakaba walking home when she passes by Anthe, who's wearing the leaf hair clip, and Wakaba takes a moment to notice. Brutal.
I just wanted to be known that, like, before even episode 10 maybe hit, I was like, I can't tell if Wakaba's gonna get weird with Anthe, because it felt weird with Anthe for a bit, like, early on. So I'm like, yeah, I felt it. I felt it a little bit.
Felt it, yeah.
Yeah.
Wakaba goes.
Catty behavior.
Yeah. Wakaba goes to Nemuro Memorial Hall for an interview. In the confessional, she talks about how Saionji will never notice her and will only think of Anthy. It's all Anthy's fault. And
it's hard to say Nemaru Memorial because you want to say Nemaru Memorial.
Yeah, Nemaru Memorial. This is how they get you. Only people who can say the name are allowed into the society. She continues saying that she's only ever been a face in the crowd. She will never be special, but when she was with Saionji, she felt like she could be special. She reaches the bottom and Mikage tells her that she needs to revolutionize the world.
I gotta say, this whole Saionji Wakaba thing, watching it, I was like, this super feels like the beginning of Skip Beat when it's Kyoko and Sho. Yeah. And it's like, she's just there as his maid. And like, he's basically just using her to get to, ease his way on his journey, but doesn't care. Yeah, it so felt like that.
Yep.
Except then Kyoko like becomes a revenge monster, and we loved it versus Wakaba's sad.
Wakaba is not going to become a revenge monster, but for right now, she is going to. Actually, she is going to become a revenge monster right now, and we're going to see how that goes for her. Back at her dorm, Saionji is gathering his stuff together to restart his life. Wakaba appears, startling Saionji. She asks where he's going, and he says he's leaving now and apologizes again for being a burden. She asks where the hair clip is, and he tells her that he wasn't able to get it to her, but don't worry, I'll just buy you something like nicer, like and more expensive. And he's like, I can mail it. Can I mail it here? Wakaba tells him not to worry about it. She has something nice right now, and she shows him the ring, and he seems to recognize it, but before he can do anything, she rushes him and pulls the sword out of his chest.
Okay, I guess he's the vice president, but he's also an idiot. So it's like, how much does he know? I don't know.
I don't know.
Because he was like long gone before these things started showing up.
Yep.
How does he know?
Yep. Wakaba also just pulls it out, like forcefully. We go back to school, or back at school. Utena finds a dueling challenge note in her locker. We get the Kogai Shadow Troop. They do a skit about how fox girls marry when it rains on a sunny day, which is pretty rare. But bunny girls have to wait until it snows on a sunny day, which pretty much never happens. Utena asks what's wrong with being single, and the bunny girl cries. Utena goes to the dueling arena. Unlike previous times, Utena takes no time to recognize who her opponent is, and we see that the desks have various hair clips on them. Wakaba goes into her speech about how she's going to kill the Rose Bride, while Utena does nothing. Anthy starts to beckon Utena to draw the Sword of Dios, but Utena doesn't move, saying she can't use the sword against Wakaba. Wakaba rushes towards Utena with Saionji's sword, but she pivots to rush Anthy instead, saying that she's just going to kill her, the one who stole Saionji away from her. Utena jumps in front of Anthy and gets between the two of them. Utena asks what's going on while Anthy tells her to draw the Sword of Dios. She's trying to kill me. She doesn't, though, and we begin the duel that mostly consists of Utena trying to stop Wakaba from killing Anthy while flashbacks of Wakaba talking about Saionji in episode 1 plays. At one point, Utena falls down and Wakaba grabs her by the hair and drags her up, telling her that both Anthy, Utena, and the student council look down on her. They're all just special and trample on everybody else. Utena is able to grab onto Wakaba and tells her that she doesn't really understand what's going on, but she knows they're friends and that she's going to save her. Utena grabs the sword from Wakaba's hand and breaks her rose, winning the duel. Zip thud, another body gone. Mikage is like, well, that didn't work. I guess it'll be funny if we keep Saionji around, though, because he's useless. We cut to Saionji returning to school while the student council speculates that he's going to try to rejoin the council. And then we get one last scene where we jump to Wakaba walking home to her dorm and returning to greet an empty room as we cut to credits.
So okay, well, this is different in a lot of ways. We've got, because normally it's like the person who has the feeling, it's normally the person who has the feelings that are being, let me think. I feel like the dynamic between the person taking the sword is different than it is in this. I'm trying to articulate how it's like, she's the aggressor and he's kind of just a passive, like she's got feelings towards him, but there's not really anything on his part. So it's like, how is she get granted access to his sword, heart, whatever, when it's like mostly just her feelings? As
the Black Rose arc progresses, we kind of do this there's kind of this gradient where we start off with Nikki and it's like, oh, it's his sister. It's somebody he knows really well and cares about a lot. Mm-hmm. And then we go to Juri, which is like what's her face, who has a crush on her. And then we go to Nanami, who like hangs out with Tsuwabuki, right? Kid. And then we go to Wakaba, who's like, Saionji is known for like a couple of weeks. And then we're going to go to Touga, who like pretty much met this person one time. So like it really tapers off in terms of like how much the student council member has a relationship with the person and like kind of ramps up the other way a little bit. But also it's weird how like it in the first instances, the sword kind of pops out of them, right? In this instance, she just pulls it out.
Yeah, that's true. More taken by force.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I really like this episode a lot. I think the duel in this episode is especially good because it does another sequence break, kind of.
Yeah.
In how...
Well, I guess this is the closest person to Utena that she's had to duel.
Yes. Yeah. No, I really like how she refuses to pull the Sword of Dios, and Anthe's like, you have to do that. You need to do that.
Well, it's the most Anthe has been like so forward to be like demanding of Utena. Normally Utena just goes with it, so Anthe doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
But like,
it's also the only time she seems legitimately nervous.
Yes. She's normally even keeled.
Yeah. Even though like all of these people are like declaring that they're going to kill her, she's just like, whatever. Like in the freaking duel against Kozue, she's like drinking milkshakes and like screwing around. But yeah, I like this a lot. It's crazy to me how in the duel, Utena is like, I don't understand what's going on, but I know that we're friends and I'm going to save you. And I'm like, you don't understand what's going on? She's literally telling you exactly what's going on. She's like, I think you all and the student council and all the main characters look down on me because I'm a side character.
Yeah. I guess she doesn't know that Wakaba has sustained a relationship with Saionji, but listen to, like you don't have to know exactly what's happened to know how she's feeling right now. Because, she is telling her. So, Utena, freaking grow a brain, girl.
Not picking up what's happening, even when Wakaba is yelling in her face exactly what the problem is.
Yep. She's just a hot jock.
Sad. And then Wakaba goes home at the end and just extremely sad.
Yeah. Well, I wonder how much she remembers, because normally they don't remember. But, obviously she remembers the time that he was there. And I guess they left. And she just didn't remember that she had the opportunity to do something about it. So I wonder if she'll still have the pent up anger against Anthe, or if that was resolved when she was defeated.
Yeah.
We'll have to find out. Not in the next episode, though, because that's other stuff.
That's other stuff. Yeah, this is, yeah. Oh, the other thing about the sword that I had to say was, it seems like when you have more of a connection to the person you're drawing the sword at, if you're able to, like, fight, like, more like them, kind of.
Yeah, she was fumbling.
She was not doing kendo. She was just running with the sword.
Nope.
Utena beat her without even drawing her sword.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. We go into episode 21?
Let's do it.
Episode 21 is called Vermin. We open on Nanami going to school with her entourage of bullies who talk her up. We get a flashback of when Nanami and her entourage first met. They were already a clique and they invited Nanami to join up with them, but were surprised to find that she's Touga's sister. Whoa! They all love Touga and serve Nanami in order to get closer to him. Or so they tell themselves. Mm-hmm. We learn that their names are Aiko, who's the one with the dark brown hair, Yuko, the one with the red hair, and Keiko, who's the one with light brown hair and pigtails.
We hate the pigtails.
The worst haircut.
It's too. I hate them. They're terrible.
I kind of like it when she's wearing the duelist outfit, though.
Yeah, it makes me think of Ringo from Angelica. It's just like gravity-defying, biggest pigtails ever.
We love that. Back in the present, Nanami decides that the best way to cheer up Touga is to host a huge party. He loves parties. We'll invite everybody. And she pitches this to the girls and they all agree. We get a montage of Keiko, the one with the pigtails, inviting everyone to the party. Later, we see Keiko deciding what dress she wants to wear. She knows that Touga probably won't notice her, but she still wants to stand out a little bit. It's the night of the party and the girls are setting up. Keiko is wearing a new dress that's kind of flashy and cool, and also rollerblades.
Very fun. So it's like, oh, look, there is a little person in there just being subdued by the posse.
Yeah. Aiko and Yuko are like, wow, you sure seem excited, Keiko. Nanami shows up to check on everything. She tells Keiko to do her a favor and go to the student council room and finish all her paperwork because she forgot to do it earlier. Keiko's like, but then I'll miss the party. And Nanami's like, oh, I guess, but like, you'll do it, right? Keiko agrees, and Nanami watches her as she goes, as if she knows what's going on, as if she knows she's like, hey, that dress is a little too standout-ish.
That's right. Nanami, you're still mean. You can't win us over with your cow form.
No amount of rustling Suibuki's hair and becoming a cow will fix you.
That's right.
Keiko leaves the party while thinking about Touga and how she wishes she could be the princess that gets to get close to the prince for once. Keiko finishes her work and goes back to the party. She sees everybody inside, including Utena and Anthy, hanging out, and she decides to leave without going in. She goes home and takes off her new dress. She thinks that her and Touga live in different worlds. It wouldn't be possible for a girl like her to get with him, though.
We get her without her stupid hairdo, and it looks way better.
Yeah, she's just normal. It's the next day, and Utena and Mickey talk about the party and how Touga seemed better at it. He seemed fine, but he still hasn't come back to school. Anthy, meanwhile, is nodding off constantly this whole scene.
Yes.
Nanami and the girls show up, and Nanami picks a fight with Utena for worrying about Touga. Utena insists that she just went to the party because she was invited. The bullies play their part like always, including Keiko, and Nanami tells Utena that she won't let a single one of you vermin get near Touga, and then they leave. Anthy's like, whoa, I fell asleep there. Did I miss anything? I didn't miss anything, right? And Utena and Anthy hang out in the planetarium. And Utena points out some of the stars that Akio has taught her. Akio shows up and starts talking about Gemini, the constellation with the twins. He's like, you two are kind of like those twins, You're both together all the time. That's cool.
This is Gemini is what showed up in Rose River Versailles as well, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of fixation on this Bond star.
Yep. Don't you love it when there's two brothers, Castor and Pollux, who do something? I don't remember what their thing is.
Yeah, and Rose River Versailles is just don't compare yourselves to brothers. You guys just did it.
Yeah, because they're two boys. Boys will be boys, I say. Utena leaves and Akio tells Anthy he wants her to continue being close with Utena, and she agrees. We cut ahead to a day where it's raining, and Keiko is out for a walk carrying an umbrella. She stops when she sees Touga in his uniform walking around in the rain, and she wonders what she should do. She's like, he's getting wet, and I have an umbrella, so it seems pretty obvious what I should do, but it's me, and I'm not in his league, so I can't do anything. And she starts shaking, but then she grabs her hand and is like, it's now or never, girl. I need to either take my shot or not. She calls out to him, and he stops. She offers to share an umbrella with him. Nearby, Nanami runs out in the rain with her own umbrella, but stops when she sees Touga and Keiko walking together.
Bah, bah, bah.
Sometime later, Nanami summons Keiko and tells her that she's been banned from all group activities, and Keiko's like, why? And Nanami's like, why? Why? Isn't it obvious? I said no vermin would ever get near my brother. And she's like, I should have known you'd do something like this. I'm gonna ruin you. Ha ha ha. And then she leaves. Keiko sees Aiko and Yuko and runs to them, telling them that they need to talk to Nanami for her, but they pretend not to hear her and walk off.
It's just so awful, because it's
brutal.
They had a moment that they didn't bother to show us of them actually being friends before this point, and then now it's oops, rug out from under the feet.
Yeah. Keiko goes to Nemaru Memorial Hall for an interview. In the confessional, she says that she always admired Nanami. She really did, but she was lying to herself. She was only around her so she could get close to Touga. That's the only reason, right? And then the elevator stops and Mikage tells her to go deeper. Keiko continues saying that she's thought she'd be allowed to love whoever she wanted to, but Nanami won't allow it. Why? She keeps him all to herself, right in front of me, and all I can do is stand there. She doesn't even care. She doesn't even try to understand how I feel. She reaches the bottom, and Mikage tells her that she needs to revolutionize the world. At Touga's place, Keiko comes to see him with an umbrella. She holds it over him and tells him to look at her. She grabs his chest and the sword erupts out, and she tells him to only look at her as she draws it out. Back at school, Utena gets a letter challenging her to a duel. We get the Kogai Shadow Troop, where they do a skit where a mantis that kills evil bugs chases a moth who claims the mantis is evil, and this happens for a long time. The spectating dragonfly gets bored, and the narrator sprays some bug spray on the mantis and the moth, and they scream as if they're both going to die, but Utena comments that it was just air freshener. What are you guys doing? Utena goes to the dueling arena. She finds umbrellas on all the desks. Keiko goes into a speech about how she's going to kill Anthy while Utena tries and fails to remember her name. Keiko says that she has Touga's sword, and Utena seems confused. She's like, why? But whatever. She draws the sword of Dios, and the duel begins. Utena asks Keiko why she's doing this, and Keiko tells her that it's Nanami's fault. She doesn't even act like I'm human, but I served her all this time. What's up with that? Utena's like, okay, but what does that have to do with Touga? Like, why do you have his sword? But Keiko says, you don't have to understand.
Yeah, you just gotta beat her, Utena.
Keiko says that Touga's sword is the strongest and gives her the power she needs to kill her. the one in her way. That's right, Nanami. I should kill Nanami. Then she's like, wait, did I just say that? She's like, yeah, right, I did. Okay, Nanami's the real vermin. Yeah, I should kill her.
Mm-hmm.
While Keiko is having this revelation, Utena summons the power of Dios and beats Keiko. Utena comments that she thought Keiko and Nanami were friends, and she's like, it's pretty freaky how deep the roots of hatred can run, huh? Sure is weird when you don't understand any of your social dynamics. Thinking about last episode, not at all.
No.
Zip thud, another body gone. Mikage says that at least it was fun to watch Keiko call Nanami a vermin.
There's supposed to be 100 bodies, right? Yeah. In the... What are we at, like, less than 10?
We're going to be doing this for 10 more seasons.
We can have so many. Oh, God.
We cut to the next day where Nanami has forgiven Keiko after coming to the conclusion that it would be impossible for her to ever get close to Touga because she's so nothing. So there's really no threat from her at all. And Keiko herself is the one who pitches this idea and pushes it. Nanami tells Keiko to not leave her side, and Keiko agrees. And Aiko and Yuko comment that they'll be friends forever, no matter what. Utena sees this and is like, I don't understand what's happening. And Anthony's like, oh, I got you. Keiko's the one with pigtails. Aiko's the one with curly hair. And Yuko's the one with short hair. And Utena's like, not that. Oh, like, why are they all friends again? I thought Keiko hated Nanami. And Anthony's like, oh, that's easy. Quote, if it's for someone you love, how you feel about others doesn't matter. You keep lying to yourself for as long as it takes, unquote. Utena is so shocked that Anthony would say this as we cut to credits.
Yeah, well, I mean... I guess maybe that's why Anthe is like so chill all the time. Where if she's like, if it's out of love for her brother or whatever, that she's putting up with all the bullshit of being the rose bride and getting smacked and this and that, and that's why she hasn't done anything. I'm like waiting for us to get some crazy reveal of Anthe's true personality, and it's like totally different, or unhinged. Oh, okay. Well, this is all the student council, right? For Black Rose stuff. So surely the next set of episodes, we're gonna get some revelations.
Yeah, we're gonna learn some stuff.
Or face to face with Black Rose head honchos or something.
Yep. How did you like this episode?
It was interesting. I felt like we got more from this Keiko girl than we did like some of the other characters who have been in the show longer. Like I feel like I know more about her and her reasoning than like Mickey's sister, for example. So I feel like for one episode, they did a good job at kind of being like, here's this character, here's her motivation. It's weird that we get, like, I don't know if Toga's voice actor is just, like, on break or whatever. It's just like a little puppet man, like, physically there, but not saying anything. We're not showing his face or anything. It's almost like we have a stunt double standing in, but that's not how it works in anime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think her motivation is really straightforward?
Okay, maybe not. No, why don't you tell me?
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is the thing, right? Like, because the thing is that she keeps kind of changing her story in the confessional again. Somewhat similarly to how Juri's crush was doing that too. Yeah. Because she's like, oh, I just want Touga. I'm not mad at Nanami, but she's clearly just fixated on Nanami. Like this is the problem is that like she wants them to actually be friends and Nanami is not her friend. And in fact, none of her friends are actually her friend.
Well, yeah. No, yeah, girl, get out of there.
Yeah.
They suck.
I really like this episode a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, there's a greater thing going on in the story, but I feel like the key thing here is that like this and the last episode are both kind of fixated on characters that are kind of background characters, feeling a certain way about the fact that they're background characters. Like they seem to understand their role in the story and like in the world, and they're mad about it. Yep. And I think they're correctly mad about it, right? I mean, like, you know, Keiko says this thing where she's like, I thought I was just like, I could just love whoever I wanted to, but now people are telling me no and like scheming to not do things. This sucks. It's like she's gaining actual awareness of the social structure that she's in and is like
very insightful,
very angry about it. And like same thing with Wakaba, right? She's like, oh, you know, I'm just like normal. Yeah. Like the best I can ever hope for is I meet somebody at the right place at the right time. You know, I'm like a bunny girl. I have to wait for it to snow on a sunny day for something good to happen to me. Otherwise, it never will. Yeah. And Keiko's kind of the same thing here. And it's really sad. And then at the end, she just goes back to it. She gets so close to like understanding the like false world she lives in, and then just nothing happens at the end. It just resets. And Utena's like, I don't get it. And Anthony's like, come on, you get it.
Joe, you're such a good teacher.
I really like this episode a lot.
Yeah.
It's like very refreshing to get to like spend time, because it's like, you know, you see these characters and they're so like 2D whatever, but then you get this where it's like, oh, these like random bullies that just like one off and say goofy stuff, like these are people with like interiority. Like it could have been any one of them. They could each have an episode where it's like, you think of these people as background people. You think of other people as NPCs or not important, but they're like people too. They do stuff. They have interiority. Maybe not all the time.
Yeah.
But it's not like they don't.
Ooh, crazy. Deep.
Yeah, except this is why this is depressing, is like at the end of Wakaba's story, she goes back to her apartment sad and alone where she was before, back in the position she started at. And same with Keiko, where it's like she kind of had this moment of like, maybe I could be something greater than what I am right now. And the answer was no.
Oh, man. If we record a series that neither of us has seen or that I've seen and it's honestly, we're only on equal footing if it's like, okay, Joe hasn't seen it, but Joe's Joe, and then Sarah's seen it. And she's Sarah, but she is equipped with the knowledge so she can. I'm like, Joe, you're so smart and good at explaining.
Well, I mean, this is why I like this episode, is because like, it does, like, you're kind of reading at how Utena reads it, right? Where she's like, oh, you like Touga?
Yeah.
All the stuff you're saying in this duel, none of it's really about Touga at all. I keep asking you why you have his sword, and you're like, don't worry about it, because she doesn't know why she has his sword. She just does. She's obsessing about Nanami the whole time. Like,
yeah. Well, I guess hatred for Nanami is stronger than infatuation with Touga.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
Hatred's
in both,
a strong feeling.
Like, in Keiko's thing, like, she doesn't know Touga, right? It's like, why do you like Touga so much? Is because he's like this symbol of like status that she can have or she can't have, but it's like a challenge to obtain, right? Like, oh, I have no hope in doing this thing, but I kind of want to do this thing anyway. She like gets a shot and she knows that she shouldn't do it when she like has the umbrella, but she's like, I'm going to be bold. I'm going to do something for myself for once. But like, she doesn't really like Touga. I mean, honestly, nobody really likes Touga.
Yeah. No.
Everybody likes the idea of Touga. Nobody really likes Touga.
Yeah.
You know, she goes for it and it kind of goes bad for her. And it's kind of the same thing with Wakaba, right? Like, she likes Saionji, but she also likes the idea that a normal girl, can obtain somebody like Saionji. It's kind of like those stories of like, oh, the pop star comes to perform in my small town and falls in love with me, a normal girl kind of thing, right? Like, it's very appealing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work out for them. And it's a bummer.
Well, I guess maybe that's why it's different it's the whole turning shoujo on its head, because a lot of shoujo is the depiction of that going right for them, where they are supposedly normal, but they do get like literally a current shoujo is like some normal girl who's a big fan of this, you know, pop idol, gets close to him, whatever. So it's like, that's what much shoujo are, and this is the like, I don't know, antithesis of that. It's like, nope.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is, right? Like, well, it's at least showing a different aspect of it, of like what thinking about your life in that way does to you or can do to you.
Yeah,
because like nothing, Keiko doesn't have to have this life, right? She could theoretically stop doing any of this stuff at any time, but she isn't going to. Maybe
it's better to be a background character that is at least in viewing distance of the main characters than a totally lost background character.
She should just join the...
Is it better to see what you can't have or not have it, or not know and not have it?
Yeah. What's better? You gonna play it safe or play it bold? Honestly, she should just join like a roller derby team is what she should do.
Yeah, that seems like she'd have fun with that.
Yeah. She was roller skating. It was funny. I'm like, oh, you're fun.
Yeah, no call out to it. No acknowledgement of it, but love it. Oh, man. Well... I am excited to see what new things we learn in the next set of episodes.
That's the end of the Black Rose saga.
Oh, that is?
No, these next 3 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god! What? If it ended there, that'd be so crazy. Like, yeah, no, we're gonna deal with Mikage, and you know, we're gonna learn some stuff about them. So,
oh, snappy snap. Okay, and then the last one. Oh, look at us progressing.
Yeah, and then we're in the final arc.
Crazy. The final arc is long.
Apocalypse arc.
Oh, dear, apocalypse. Ooh, important things gonna happen.
Yeah.
How exciting.
Great.
Okay, well, I am not sure how the show's gonna end, but I'll be curious to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm gonna be talking about it for it's gonna be a long episode. That last episode is gonna be super long.
Oh, well, I'll just bring the popcorn and listen to you tell me what happened, because I'm sure it will go right over my head. Oh, man. You know what else is cool?
You're giving us 5 stars on your podcast platform of choice. Hey, you just listened to this far in the episode, and you probably had a good time. And maybe it's your first time listening to us because you joined in on episode 19 through 20. It's your favorite episodes of Utena. These might be my favorite episodes of Utena. Who knows?
Ooh.
And maybe you should go ahead and drop us a 5-star rating. It really helps us out. It's good for the algorithms. You can add a comment on Apple Podcasts. Good, important thing to do. Please do this for all your podcasts, not just us. But please remember to do it for us first. That's important.
That's right.
Right. If you want to email us with any questions or comments about this episode or any of the prior episodes, you can email us at shoujopod@gmail.com. You can message Sarah on Instagram at shoujopod. Yeah.
On Instagram. Yep.
Is that how you say it?
Leave comments on YouTube. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So please do. And what did we learn today on the Shoujo podcast?
What did we learn? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. What did we...
Maybe when your friends say something, they mean what they're saying, and you should listen to what they're saying.
Yeah. If your friend directly tells you what their problem is and you respond with, I don't know what's going on, maybe that means something. Maybe you should think a little bit more.
Maybe you're not a good friend. Yeah. Non-observant friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, the shortest lessons learned ever on Shoujo.
The shortest lesson. No, there's got to be something else here, right? If you're trying to listen, you're both friends, you're girlfriends, you're friends with your girl. If you're trying to hook her up with some guy, maybe you should confirm, maybe you should ask her if she likes him first. Maybe you should try to get some confirmation on that. Cause you can, because you don't really care about this kid. You're not really on his corner. You're in her corner. You should be like, hey, what'd you think about him? I bet we could pivot this to helping you out, Wakaba, instead of just being trying to scheme in the background and being sure, how this is good. Oh, what? You're still in love with Saionji, a guy who sucks? Maybe we should talk about that.
Yes. Good. That's good. Yeah. Good thinking.
Yeah. Always ask your friends who they like.
Just talk to your friends.
Just talk to your friends.
Know your friends. Good Lord. Oh, man. Yeah. And yeah, I guess speaking of friends, thanks to all of you for listening to us and letting us sustain our friendship through the Shoujo podcast. And catch us next time for episodes 22, 23, and 24.
The end of the saga. Ba-ba-ba.
Yes. Big stuff happening next time. So look forward to it. And don't forget to listen to the Manga Talk episode for more of us in the meantime.
Bye.
The end.
The end.
Ta-ta for now.
See you later.